Hello guys, welcome back to the Try Time Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Callum.
And I'm Matt.
And we are back after a few months off, and we are going to be not ranking exactly, but we're going to be saying who and why we think should get the Super League spot next year. Out of all 6 applicants, we're going to have a video on each one of them. And yeah, I think today we are starting off with the Bradford Bulls.
Is that any surprise that he started with Bradford?
Well, arguably, in the news the most rumoured to be getting the spot, the most controversial. So who better to start off with, really?
But, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the facts,
There's
give some
nothing
opinions.
to look
So we
at.
start.
It's just cut and dried, least deserving.
So we start off. We'll look at the academy, because I think that's an important thing when you're thinking about long term. And arguably, Bradford have got a top tier academy and have produced loads over time. Obviously, going back to Burgess brothers, but even recently, I've just got a list here. I've got Cameron Scott.
And in recent times, I don't know, it's a rumour Sky Sports are set to broadcast rugby league and rebrand it as the Super League. If we're going turning back clocks to when Bradford are actually good, how far do you want to go? Are we going back to Water Splash final again?
I'm just going to keep listing off these names. So you got Cameron Scott, Jake Truman, Rowan Milnes, Ethan Ryan, James Bentley, Matty Staunton, all players who have sort of come through.
For the few of you that are still listening after that, I'm sorry.
Super League players who have come from Bulls, even though they've been in the lower divisions. I think in terms of the academy, they always have produced these players. They always sort of seem to, even if obviously now they have to sell them on rather than playing them as they once did. So I think that's definitely something to say
I'll give you the academy
to the Bulls.
But we have got the problem of you don't even have a pitch that is actually owned by yourself.
We're getting onto that a bit.
Go on then.
But next, I have fan base is the next category, which
I don't think we need to go into that one. Bradford have got one of the biggest in the championship, and if we're talking fan base, yes, that's definitely a tick in their box.
A tick in the box, especially the only team that actually had a higher attendance in 2019 in the championship was Toronto, funnily enough, which is a bit
ironic if we're going on the fan base point.
That's what I mean.
Just got rid of a more well-supported team, but
yeah,
we won't touch on the decisions behind Toronto's.
Yeah,
but as much as we have criticised the club for various different things, I am a bit sad about that.
Yeah.
Although the moral of the story is pay your bloody players what you've contracted to pay them and stop entering bidding wars for new ones. Anyway, back to Bradford.
Yeah, definitely. So then we'll go on to the ground, which I know you're so keen to get to. We don't own the ground.
I'm not keen to get to it because it's run down and not even your own anymore because Mr. Wood owns it.
If we were to get into Super League, it has already sort of been said that we will go back to Odsel, which makes sense, but
well,
also...
it does, but the stand falling down by now.
Yeah, there's going to need a lot of work to do in it. I think it's like the thing with Bradford is, as fans, we've been through in terms of all new owners, and then they just leave us in shit. New owners leave us in shit, and then
club.
All the people who are there to clear up the mess almost seems to be the fans all the time, whereas we're the ones who get the stick off other fans about it. And especially that's coming around now with us being rumoured of being this 12th team in Super League. So I think in terms of ground, I'm not even going to say out on it.
Let's look at recent performance for a second. I mean,
that is the next section actually.
Good, because I'm going to make my point here. You've spent some of that time in League One. You got relegated twice. And even let's think back to 10 years ago now. Your last few seasons in the Super League, they weren't really in the championship. Cracking. Well, when did you get relegated? About 2012, where that you've started to hit the decline.
40. Well, yeah, there's been a decline for a while, but also we would not have gone down from Super League without the points deduction we got and everything like that. But that's going back way too long. In terms of recent performance, I want to speak about.
I don't know because it's over the last 10 years in it that they're judging it on, so I feel like that is relevant.
Yeah, but you had to have finished in the top 6 I think it was within the last 2 seasons, and in the last full season we had in the Championship, 2019 season. You got to remember, we was only 1 point behind Fev, and Fev went to the playoff final to play Toronto, so it wasn't
but we'll get on to this in the Featherstone video. But how many people have said it shouldn't go to Fev because they finished 5th?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But my point is, I've put recent performances, some good wins. You know, we beat Leeds in the cup. We have played well, but also there's the other end of that where we can just play terrible sometimes. And
Right,
honestly,
let's take the bias out for a second. Do you think Bradford are deserving of the spot, honestly, over everyone else?
Over some teams,
Ignoring
yes.
the fact
Over
that you're
others,
a fan.
no.
Right,
Middle
yeah,
of the
I'd
ground,
agree
no.
with that.
No.
I can go with that.
But I've just got to say the facts in it. At the end of the day, like, our performance technically hasn't been worse than some of the other teams, and also I think like we play well against the good Super League teams. Like, we'll play like we and you both went to the Wakefield game just before the main first lockdown, the last game the Bulls actually played, and how like we definitely didn't look out of place against them.
But can we just point out Wakefield were, I mean, I think it's safe to say now bottom of the league, given we're effectively saying Toronto never existed.
Yeah, definitely. But my point is, there's definitely, I think, a culture around the club where they can do well in Super League. But I also think we are too inconsistent performance-wise compared with some other teams available. Now, I want to go on to, lastly, really, the current squad. And I think it's a good Championship team, not the best in the Championship. Would probably be expected to make the playoffs. Not Super League level outside of a few senior players such as like Anthony England, Danny Brough, Jordan Lilly, Aaron Murphy, who we've signed as well. And obviously there's some good young players who probably will be Super League in the future, probably not just ready yet. So, as I think every other team we're going to speak about in these videos, they need to buy some players and get some loans or recruits in there before they go into Super League.
My comment for Bradford's squad is this.
Boys.
There is definitely some potential in there, but this is a squad that is set up to win promotion on the pitch. And there's nothing in that set of criteria you've just listed that says actually we deserve to get up in the boardroom in format.
Yeah, one thing
they're not the worst case, but certainly, in my opinion, should not be front runners for the spot. And if the RFL do give it to Bradford, I think it's very fair to start questioning what the agenda, or rather, should Super League give it to Bradford?
Yeah.
What the agenda actually is here, because it's clearly not based on rugby merit.
Yeah, potentially. I definitely see that. I think one thing to close on with the squad, a closing note, is like Bradford have got a lot of good young players, and they've got a lot of players sort of off the peak of the career, you know, like your Danny Broughs, who are just on the way down now. We don't have the players who are in like the mid-20s who are in the prime of their careers. So we've got good young players, good sort of senior players, but I don't think we have that middle ground, which is where all the players are obviously in Super League. And also, I get your point. I also think, for you as a Leeds fan,
I'd love to see the
Are you
derby
excited for the Bradford Leeds derby though? Would that bring a bit of something back into the rugby league calendar for you? I think that aspect of Bradford also could be considered.
But is that going to be any more than the Cass Featherstone derby, for example, just to throw in, or the Catalan to lose?
There's 100%. That's definitely got to come into it.
I mean,
but I was just wanting to know what you thought as a Leeds fan.
It's not the same as what it once was though, just because. And I know it'll be a cracking atmosphere. No, not because of that, actually.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we are a silverware winning club that are a Richie Myler prostate exam away from being in the semi-finals of Super League. You're not even top of the Championship. Like, if this game was played 9 times out of 10, I think Leeds win, and I think for 3 or 4 of those, it's
definitely
convincing.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think in terms of long term, if you're thinking 5 years,
I kind of think yes.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But also, I think RFL want to pick a team now who can be in Super League and last for 5 years down the line. And 5 years down the line, when I would imagine
twice again. Look at your track.
Yeah, probably. But in the RFL's perfect mind of how they want it to go, where we're in 5 years, we're like maybe not competing at the top, but we're like a solid team who's in the league and have got a Super League team that on the day can beat any Super League team, but on the day can get trounced by them, which is same as a lot of the teams in the league, really. Inconsistency everywhere.
Well, then, at the danger of going over 10 minutes here and waffling on too much, one word answer: should Bradford get the spot? I'd say no.
I'd say no, but also I think they will. I think you might think the same. I would honestly say about 70% sure that I think Bradford will get it,
Right,
but I don't think they should.
Let's just cut his mic and move on to the next team. That'll
Right,
be coming
yeah,
out in the
thanks
next
for
day or
watching.
so. Thanks for watching this one. We're going to link to the playlist. Subscribe to that and you'll see them all coming on in the next few days. But until then, goodbye.
Yeah, see you later.